Bishop and Rothman here on a Football Friday. Anthony Rothman, Demetrius Stanley, Roy Hall in today, the former Buckeye receiving greats, just crowding the studio. A little bump and run today. And we've been talking since Roy has been very close with Maurice Clarett since he's come back to Columbus and getting his life and hopefully a new career on track. We thought it'd be a great idea to reach out to the former Buckeye running back, very polarizing figure. And Mo Clarett, welcome back into town. And how have you been?
Oh, I've been well. Life is good. Columbus is good. Ohio is good. The family's good. Everything's good.
Tell me, I guess your approach, wow, you're approaching 30 years of age. I don't want to date you too much, but in a couple of years, you're going to hit 30. What are you doing how are you making a living right now?
I'm making a living right now. Well, actually, I'm transitioning back to Ohio. I'm helping Roy out with his Driven Foundation a whole lot, helping to make a positive impact on the community. I'm also shooting my 30 for 30 film. I have a book deal that I should be on the phone at 3:30 with the author about the book deal and all the details and specifications. And that's how I seem to support myself. That's how I seem to stay on a positive track, along with a couple other things I do in the community to help myself generate money for myself.
All right, Maurice, I can't pretend that I even understand the world that you came from as a kid, and I watched the whole saga. I watched it all take place, and especially being in the media, I was on top of everything and how it all went down. In your mind right now, as the mature adult that you are becoming, and I commend you for turning your life around and doing it the way you're doing it. What today, when you look back at all that, what's the first thing that comes to your mind after all that and today how you've changed? What's the first thing that comes to your mind for what your history was from the Ohio State to the NFL part?
What is the first thing that comes to my mind? I don't know, just a young guy who lacked a whole lot of character, you know what I mean? And that's basically where everything kind of stems from, character coupled with faith and just having a foundation from which all your decisions are made. Just coming up, I was just doing more acting and reacting towards situations or doing things that I thought should be done, I guess, when you're in certain positions, be it athletically, be it in society and things of that nature. And that's basically what it was. More so than anything, what I say, I represent basically just a culture of young guys, who come from inner cities. Not everybody gets thrust into the spotlight, but a lot of young guys, including myself, we come from areas where single parent families, and it's not an excuse, but you just don't have the characteristics that a father or a double parent home or that a stronger community may instill in kids when they're younger. And so just some of those results, like they say, nothing changed with circumstance and opportunity, and that circumstance has changed. Just different parts of my character was revealed or a lack of it.
All right, so talk about that transition into being thrust into the spotlight. You mentioned that. How much did that affect the way you acted? I know it affected you in a positive way in some ways, but what do you think, coming from all the accolades you got from people calling Clarett, calling the name, what negative effect did that have on you? Because sometimes it just makes you feel like you're more invincible, like you can just do the things you want and get away with it. Did it have that effect, and you think some of that, those accolades and being praised coming right out of high school, do you think that added to the problems that you had?
I don't know. I probably couldn't wrap it up just inside this conversation. But everything was a component. When you're making the decisions you make, you don't go into something and saying, "Hey, I'm making the wrong decision on purpose." You're also using the best information that you have possible, or you're making the best choice at that given time, and that's pretty much what it was. But since sometimes you can get so caught up into what's going on that you don't have time to sit back, plan, and prepare, or just see where your life is going. Sometimes you just get a little jaded with what's going on. And that was the case in point in some of my circumstances, and just watching everything play out on TV and being basically having a reactive sort of personality or attitude towards everything that's taking place.
Now, Maurice, speaking on that transition that you're going through right now, I'm aware that you were up in Youngstown just yesterday speaking to a high school football team from your hometown, talking about transition. What exactly was your message to them, and how do you think that message is going to affect them moving forward?
My thing was just based about choices and all about building character. And I would say from the character standpoint, when I was in prison, I basically had a chance to do kind of like become introspective or introvert sort of, and just kind of find out what led me down, what path, what led me down, what road, what was it that I lacked that made me make the decisions I made. You know what I'm saying? I connected those characteristics that I didn't have, and was trying to make guys aware of some of their actions and the culture in which they come from, how those decisions or the lack of decision making may affect their outcome. And what was the last part of the question that you asked?
Just what was the impact that you made, those questions or that delivery made on those kids? I know when you're being raised in a certain particular environment, and then when you go back and speak to kids in that same environment, and that same type of lifestyle that you grew up in, I know that it can have a direct impact. Were the kids receptive to your message?
Okay. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it was very impactful just because, I come from right around the corner. I come from right down the street. A lot of these guys, whether it be older cousins or parents or even them to a large degree, seeing me directly or me around in the neighborhood a whole lot, and just to watch the transitions, the ups and the downs of my life, I think it's very helpful. And even after the speaking is the part I love. The speaking to large groups are cool, but I love the kind of like the post speaking where you get to interact one-on-one with them, and you know what I'm saying, and also you see the Twitter feeds, or somebody may go to my mother's desk and say, hey, Maurice spoke at the school yesterday and I enjoyed it, and it made this type of impact on me, or I received this message from it, and there's a lot that has went on in my life, and there's a lot of messages intertwined through the success and the failures, and each person shall pull from it what they pull from it, but just to get some of the responses back and just to see their eyes and how they were connected with me when I was on stage speaking to them, meant a whole lot to me. And it also encourages me to continue to do what I do, to continue to align myself with people like yourself and also other positive figures in the community, just so I can consistently stay on the right path.
Talking with Maurice Clarett, the former Buckeye running back, former Mr. Football in Ohio back in 2001, and obviously he's trying to get his life back on track, and it sounds like you're admitting to a lot of the mistakes that you made, and you said you just lack character. When you look back on your time at Ohio State, is there one thing that you would categorize as your biggest regret?
No regrets. Like I say, you can't. I don't regret anything. I don't know about anybody else, because you're only functioning with the information or the information that you have. Each guy and each man and woman should always make the best decision, or shall function and operate with the best of decision making that they make that decision at that time, if that makes sense to you. And, that was just basically it. I was 18 years old. Like a lot of times people in the media, and this is not any knocks on y'all or just or ESPN, anybody, they give the mindset of a child. They'll give their adult mindset to a child. They'll expect a Braxton Miller or myself, any guy around the country who happens to be 18, 19, to make decisions like a responsible adult who has 3 or 4 kids who've been through many different experiences in life. You know what I mean? And I didn't see that until I got out of the spotlight. But there's a lot of naive 18, 19, 20-year-olds who kind of learn their way. And once you get to kind of like 25, you start to figure things out. Once you get to 23, 24, you start to figure things out. But that was basically it. I don't have any regrets in regards to what took place. You always wish things would have turned out another way, but that's life. You know what I'm saying? That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And the best thing that I've done since then is kind of own the situation, realize what I did wrong, and basically use the lessons I learned in college to kind of as a springboard to the second part of my life. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, one of the moments that I was most curious in through the whole thing was when you were making that decision to kind of sue to go to the NFL and leave college football before or after your freshman year. Who was guiding you? What was the guidance you were getting? Because I feel like whoever it was or whatever that was going on, it was more looking at the financial or the life of the NFL as opposed to the 18-year-old kid who may need some more maturity before they go. So what was going on in that moment when you were making that decision and people around you, what were they telling you?
Oh, well, it's kind of like a two-part thing. It's not that simple to answer because you have to basically establish the circumstances that were around the situation. But to be honest with you, I signed a deal kind of with ESPN to speak on that with their 30 for 30 clip, and I'll kind of just leave that for them. But, a lot of the information that, some people seem to wonder about, we've been sitting down for we go through 3 or 4 days sitting down for 8, 9 hours at a time, you know what I'm saying, doing interviews. And it will give an in-depth, detailed answer as to regards to what's taking place. But just even for you to ask me the question that way, it further lets me know that a lot of people didn't understand all of the circumstances that were around that decision making. It wasn't just as simple as, hey, I feel like doing this, I'm just going to hate jumping over to the NFL. But I can't wait for that part or that story to come out. You know what I mean? Just so people gain clarity on just some of what was taking place at that time of my life.
Well, I'll just let you know I'm very interested. So
appreciate
good
it.
luck. Good luck to you, man. I appreciate everything you're trying to do, and I commend you because I know it's not easy, but keep your head up because only you can stop you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, everybody is their biggest supporter and their worst enemy.
Maurice, I'll give you a little wrap up here. And first of all, real quickly, when is the 30 for 30 going to air? Do you know?
I actually don't know. They've talked about a few different dates, but there's nothing that is concrete. But it will air. It will come out. We started the shooting maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know. The weeks kind of been blurring each other. But we started the shooting 2 or 3 weeks ago. We still have a few more cities to hit. We'll go from here. We'll go to Denver. We'll go to Los Angeles. We'll go back to Youngstown. We'll do some more shooting in Columbus. And I think we go down to – we have one more city I forget. I can't name it off the top of my head. But it's going to be fun. I'm excited about doing it. I've been going down memory lane, recreating or reenacting a lot of what's been going on. But, it's fun.
Well, I appreciate your time, and I want you to know you're welcome to come into the studio. I know we've been trying to schedule you, and when you get freed up, we'd like to hear more about it and be able to do more than one segment with you. But good luck. I know you're back here and trying to make a difference, and that's a good thing. Keep moving forward, and we appreciate your time.
I definitely do appreciate you all having me. And to anyone who's listening, if you can come and join myself and the German Foundation at Champs at Easter tonight, I would really appreciate it. You can come out, we're signing autographs, taking pictures, having fun, enjoying ourselves. And like I say, thanks for having me.
You got it. Thanks, Mo. Take care.
Thank you.